DNA and RNA are nucleic acids, polymers made of subunits called nucleotides. One difference between DNA and RNA is the type of sugar their nucleotides contain. DNA contains the sugar deoxyribose, while RNA contains the sugar ribose. Ribose has one more oxygen atom than deoxyribose. DNA and RNA are each composed of 4 different nucleotides, which differ in their nitrogenous bases. 3 of the 4 bases are the same in DNA and RNA: adenine, guanine, and cytosine. The 4th base in DNA is thymine. In RNA, it is uracil. The nitrogenous bases guanine and adenine each have 2 linked rings of atoms. They are called purines. Cytosine, thymine, and uracil each have a single ring, and these 3 bases are called pyrimidines. For convenience, the carbon atoms in a nucleotide sugars are numbered, beginning with the carbon atom bonded to the nitrogenous base, moving around the ring, and up to the carbon that is bonded to the phosphate group. The 1' carbon is bonded to the nitrogenous base, the 3' carbon to the next nucleotide, and the 5' carbon to the phosphate group. DNA and RNA are polynucleotides, long chains of nucleotides. Polynucleotides are always assembled in the 5' to 3' direction. A covalent bond forms between the carbon at the 3' position of the nucleotide and the phosphate group at the 5' position of the next nucleotide.
Be aware of it, I'm not going to test it.
RNA usually consists of a single polynucleotide chain. DNA, on the other hand, consists of 2 polynucleotide chains. The 2 DNA chains, or strands, are oriented in opposite directions and held together by hydrogen bonds between the nitrogenous bases on opposite strands. Because of their sizes, shape, and arrangement of polar groups, the DNA bases form complementary pairs. Adenine pairs with thymine, and cytosine pairs with guanine. The 2 polynucleotides in DNA wind around each other to form the familiar double helix. The bases can be in any order, like the letters of the alphabet. However, the base sequence is significant. Sequences of bases called genes encode the instructions for the structure and function of an organism.
Now we have another nucleotide. We talked about DNA, RNA. Also need to know ATP. Yes.
I just wanted to know if the nucleotide with the S helping with the
You mean a bond to the long chain?
No, I mean,
Okay. Another really important nucleotide that we have is ATP. Now, ATP is your energy dollar. This is your source of energy for the cell. It's really important. It's adenosine triphosphate, ATP, adenosine triphosphate. It consists of an adenine base